Mitch, we have a new commissioner since we were last together. Andrew Morgan. You guys know each other?
No.
Okay. Okay. You've met Ivan, of course. So I'm the last time. So tell us what you've been up to since we last saw you.
Let's see, I'm recertifying again as a board certified trial attorney, going through the whole process. Pretty involved. The judge review, lawyer review, if that's so many cases too, which I have abundant of cases. Really, I'm working a lot on these campaigns. A couple of friends of mine are running as for House District 27 in Denizak, and Dave Santiago also helping him quite a bit, knocking on doors and taking a lot of my time. Just getting the word out. As you know, I'm a member of the Republican Club. Put a lot of time in that. Should be aware of. Also, I'm a family man. Married 17 years. Little girl named Fiona. Wonderful little girl. Tried over 100 cases, 93 jury trials. Give a lot to the community. Very involved with the Hispanic Club. In fact, this month, I immigrated here from Cuba 50 years ago. So, very blessed to be here and happy to be in this country. As a result, I've had a great work ethic. My parents taught me a lot to work and how to achieve your goals. How to work. That's basically it. Mostly what I've been doing lately is helping these candidates.
Why are you not running?
Well, I'm not running. I like to be appointed first initially. I mean, to me, it's easier, better to say I've been doing this for 2 years. I know what I'm doing. My opponent hasn't done it all, and have a record, some record of achievement, so you can, tell the constituent what you've done, as opposed to any kind of a name calling. This person did this person did this. I'd like to have some kind of record of achievement. I think it looks better, and I think people will respond better to it.
Mr. Novas, what would you say that your opposing counsels have to say about their experience litigating against you?
Fair, upfront. I don't cheat. I don't do anything unethical. Aggressive. I object to everything. I make them prove the case. I think every opponent would say that. But just pretty easy to get along with. But again, they know going in that I'm going to make every objection, because I tell them, I'm going to object to everything, so make sure you got everything ready to go. But I think they also say that I'm aggressive, negotiating. I'm also very aggressive. I've said most every case for trial. To me, that's the best way to negotiate it. Have the cases set up. That's what most people say.
Do you feel that you would be able to handle the civil side of the circuit bench?
Yeah, as a public defender, I've been 27 years, board certified 15. I also had a little office on the side, part-time for a couple of years. Basically, I did everything that came in. Anything that walked in, anything that got referred to me, I did. Personal injury, family, anything, just about anything that walked in.
Your name has gone up once before to the governor's office. What did you learn from that process? What would you do again if you were to go up? What would you do differently?
I met our governor a couple times through my club, and it just so happened I met him before I got sent up, and we talked a little bit about what I was doing. I met him after I got sent up, and gave a little bio about me. Here you go, Governor. So I did meet him a couple times. I think more letters, frankly, to tell him what I'm like. The interview process went well, and very, very well, frankly. But I think he needs to know more of me. And the only way to do it, frankly, is through letter from people that know me. The process went well because the 3 interviewers, we discussed my background. He even asked me, how you have to run again in 2 years, right? What experience do you have? That's when I went off on my experience about helping candidates. There was a picture of our governor behind them. I said I helped our governor get elected twice. So that went very, very well, I thought. As far as if I meet him again, it'd be great. He's hard to meet, I'm sure. But mostly letters, let the people know what I'm like. and as a person and as an attorney.
What type of questions did they ask you about the law?
They asked me about the death penalty, and frankly, I thought it was alive and well back at the time. Hearst was going on, but I didn't think Florida was going to change it. Now it's completely changed. How I feel about the death penalty, I think I believe in the death penalty, I always have. I think the case is merited. But mostly it was very informal, just talk about myself, kind of experience I had. I told them the 101 trial in 27 years. Not much in the law, just mostly about the death penalty. At that time, of course.
And that's when that case was, had it been decided yet, or it was in the works?
It was in the works, I believe. That's why I said it. I thought Florida was just going to keep it the way it is, which to me, you know, there's a lot of talk about Florida being the lone state, about 7-5 to recommend death. And the flip side of that is don't come to Florida and commit crimes that merit the death penalty. Frankly,
Stay in another state, right?
It's all changing now. I think at the end of the day, we're going to look at a 12-0 verdict for just yesterday. A judge in Tampa ruled our statute unconstitutional. Just yesterday. So.
Well, on the death penalty, I can get you prepared if you were to go back up again. In St. Johns County, we have a connection to a case that deals with the death penalty, and it is that a priest was murdered in, a priest from St. Johns County was murdered in Georgia. And the priest had signed during his lifetime some kind of document that the Catholic Church has that says, even if I'm murdered and it's brutal and no matter what has happened to me, I don't want the person that did it to be put to death. But the Georgia, of course, is saying, well, but it merits a death penalty, so we're going after the death penalty. What do you think?
I think
Where do you?
I haven't signed that document, so if anybody ever says I had, they're lying.
A freedom of religion versus a death penalty overlap there.
Well, but it's also a victim statement versus a prosecutor kind of deal.
I know exactly what I do. It's a background crime, seek the death penalty, and that is for the jury to decide. So it'll be a mitigator with the person law. I would let the jury hear that, but ultimately, I think it's for the jury to decide. Especially kind of the person who would kill a priest. Speaking of priests, I'm with the Episcopalian Church. I'm quite involved with it. After it goes there.
Father Ernie wrote you a letter.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Great man, good man. I like him. I've been on the vestry in the church, and I'm currently an usher in the church. I'm also a team leader of one of the ministries there.
Mitch, thanks for coming in. We'll let you know by the end of the day.
It's 2 buildings that were evacuated.
So is that the